All right. Good morning once again, and let me take this opportunity to thank all the media houses that are here today, who made time, in the busy schedule. I know many of you, only coming back yesterday, from the December holidays. Without further ado, today is just to pave the way forward and to highlight a few things that the Boxing SA in 2024 will be focusing on. Ladies and gentlemen, the year 2023 has come and gone. With all its upheavals, turbulences, and volatilities within the boxing fraternity in South Africa, it is finally behind us now. We've called this press conference not to dwell on the negativity around our beloved boxing and its recent past, but to say to South Africans, boxing stakeholders at large and supporters, that boxing in this country is going to take a different shape. As we enter and start a new year, as the management team of Boxing South Africa, currently charged with managing boxing currently, we are assuming a positive and futuristic posture, and that is going to be our attitude going forward. We talk positivity, we talk growth, we talk future of boxing in this country. We will not allow anything to defocus us, drag us back to the past. We call on all stakeholders within the boxing fraternity. We call our boxers, who are our main stakeholder. We call our managers, we call our ring officials, we call our promoters, we call our matchmakers, we call the broadcasters, the promoters, as well as sponsors, broadcast partners, to walk this journey with us as we reclaim the space in the South African sport in this country. As Boxing SA, we are of the hope and belief that 2024 has ushered a new era, one that will bring with much needed stability, the restoration of dignity and trust within our sector by all boxing stakeholders. From onset, ladies and gentlemen, we want to applaud the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, Honorable Zizi Kodwa, for appointing the new board. We believe this move will turn the fortunes of boxing around and bring the stability and order to restore the good image that this entity deserves. The positive vibes, applause, and relief displayed across the social media, the media, by all boxing fraternity on the announcement of the new board has given hope to the licensees and all boxing stakeholders at large. And this administration and management team will assure the stakeholders that we will deliver in our mandate. The minister's mandate, ladies and gentlemen, is very clear. It is for Boxing SA to bring leadership stability. It is for Boxing SA to bring order and development in South African boxing with fresh, progressive programs to make Boxing South Africa a self-sustainable entity with its own financial resources, less dependent on government. I think during the announcement of the new board, the minister was very clear on that. We can't be an entity that is forever dependent on government funding. Boxing in the past used to draw in sponsors, I won't mention them, but as you know that we've been having a boxing that was fully sponsored. For this to be realized, we are therefore charged to deliver good governance, and that talks to integrity. Without integrity, ranging from the board, the administration, board subcommittees, the licenses themselves, we won't take this sport forward. We'll have to do that through professionalism. We are a professional sport, and if you look in one of the key values outlined in strategic documents of Boxing SA, we talk about professionalism, we talk about leadership, we talk about accountability, we talk about diversity. Therefore, those values are not there to beautify the strategic documents of this entity. They are there for us involved in boxing to live them day by day. Consistency in whatever that we do, as prescribed by the legislative prescripts. We need to be consistent. What we do on the right hand, it must be done on the left hand. If we say that monies must be in within 14 days for best monies, it should be like that. Regardless which promoter is there, that needs to be a standard, and it needs to apply across the board. We need to have uncompromising adherence to legislative prescripts. The reform agenda, the evolution of boxing industry in this country requires new thinking. It requires change makers. It requires movers and shakers. High-level aspects with international exposure that will introduce best practices within boxing in this country. With all the above being said, the central and the main stakeholder is the boxer. That needs to be clear. The central and the main stakeholder here is the boxer. Without fear or favor, boxers must be the biggest winners and highest financial beneficiaries in the sport of boxing. I want you to highlight that. Highest financial beneficiaries. The most wealthiest sportsman in the world is a boxer. Why can't it be the same in South Africa? That is the direction that we need to take. So that boxers can comfortably sustain their lives, as there is no boxing without the two boxers in the square circle. The boxer has to be at the center of everything that we do. However, with the current state of the fistic sport in South Africa, that will remain a pipe dream, because we have low activity rate in the country, where most of our boxers fight no more than 2 fights a year or less or none, compared to our international counterparts, who fight more than 4 times a year. This is an anomaly that must be changed drastically, and we need to develop a fresh program that will allow our boxers to be active. If you look on the records of our boxers who are competing internationally, compare them with those international boxers, you will find that our boxer is going for a world title shot with only maybe 8 fights. Then the opponent is talking about 20-something fights, up to 30-something fights. What is it that other countries are doing differently that we are not doing? And if you look on the debuts, you would see that it's almost the same year. It means that there is something that we are not doing correct as the current boxing SA in this country. Just for an example, analyzing the top 15 rankings in all 17 divisions in the country, South Africa currently has only 10 boxers that are rated in the top 15. We didn't even go to the top 10. We looked on the top 15. We need to work very hard to make sure that this picture is different. We've got 17 weight divisions, apart from the newly introduced division by WBC of the Bridgerweight. Out of those 17 divisions, we only have 10 boxers in the country that are appearing in top 15 across all divisions. We have to move with speed, ladies and gentlemen, on this one, as time is against us. Furthermore, if you zoom deep, we only have 4 South African champions who are rated in top 15 out of 17 weight divisions in South Africa. What is it that we are not doing right to have only 4 SA champions rated top in the 15? We did not even do the 10 in this analysis. This can never be right. We are required to work hard and smart in producing high-quality national champions, high-quality provincial champions, so that they can be able to compete at an international level. To respond to the above challenges, we'll have to introduce programs that will make our boxers active from a development level, intermediary level, and elite stage. We have seen how in the past, notwithstanding all the challenges encountered, programs like the Baby Champs, the Premier Boxing League made significant impact, as most of the participants ultimately became champions. When we had these programs, our boxers were active. This tournament, there were tournament dates that were guaranteed upfront, which is what we need to promote going forward. We cannot continue with the status quo where there is a plethora of cancellation of tournaments, as this affects the poor boxers and all those involved. The issue of cancellation of tournaments is a sore point in the South African boxing, and that is something that we need to deal with head on and be able to do away with that. Noting the challenges, economic challenges in the country, we can't be naive to that. However, to cancel a tournament on the last day of the tournament, cancel a tournament on the way in, I think that is not on, and it's something that needs to be dealt with, and it should be buried once and for all moving forward. If we are to change this, we have to make a call for all our boxing stakeholders to think differently and to find ways of packaging boxing in a more attractive format that will lead to broadcasters chasing boxing for broadcast deals as they now see the sport as premium content for their platforms. This will only happen when we raise our standard higher, when we have well-marketed tournaments, and when we pack arenas around the country. Broadcasters want to see arenas being packed. Broadcasters want to see proper marketing pre the tournaments in any sporting code that they will be able to partner with. Sponsors want to see numbers. So we need to make sure that as this fraternity moving forward, our tournaments are well marketed, our tournaments are well organized, so that we can compete with other sports codes in the country. The Women in Boxing program is a very critical intervention that must be strengthened and supported at all costs, as South Africa has an abundance of talented women who just lack activity and support. We call upon broadcasters, sponsors, investors, boxing experts to come on board to support the call for the revival of boxing to take the center stage in the sporting and entertainment sector in South Africa and the continent at large. Moving forward, we will call and we will soon be launching South African boxing ambassador programs that will comprise of our former world and national champions who will play a significant role in promoting and developing boxing in this country. Several of them have already been consulted, and I am thrilled to announce that they are all placed to form part of this initiative. It is no secret that these are legends who have put South Africa in the global map, and it will be naive of us not to let them play a positive role in this new evolution. You would remember that there were days where we had 5 champions on credible sanctioning bodies. There were an era where we had 8 champions in a year. Where are those champions? Where are those former legends? As this administration, we want them to be involved. We want them to form part and parcel of programs to develop boxing. They've walked the path. They've been there internationally, locally. They know the tricks, within the sport. Therefore, already I've engaged with them, and none of them have turned down this particular invite. Therefore, a meeting is set before the end of this month, and boxing stakeholders and the public will be duly informed in terms of the outcomes and the objective of that particular program. The Sanctioning and Ratings Committee are critical committees in the lifeblood of boxing in the country. At this stage, we recommend that for continuity purposes, until the issue of the board is sorted out, we'll let the current committees continue until legally advised otherwise, because we can't say that there is no boxing, because both committees are a lifeblood of boxing. We can't have boxing without the ratings committee. We can't have boxing without the sanctioning committee. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, our boxers are getting opportunities abroad, and as a country, we have a responsibility to support these athletes as they are representing South Africa. A few examples include Xolisani Nomeva Ndongeni, who just fought for a 9-title fight. He fought a good fight against a very credible opponent in Las Vegas last Saturday. He unfortunately fell short as the fight was stopped at round 8. We will give him all the support, as we don't want him to despair, as he is one of the shining stars that we have in the country. This week, ladies and gentlemen, 13th January 2024, in United Arab Emirates, Abu Dhabi, Lunga Pressure Cooker Stimela, who is the WBF champion, will be involved in a 9-title fight, and we believe he will represent the country well and pave the way for future world titles. On the same token, one of our disciplined boxers in the country, the pride of Tembisa, Jackson M3 Chauke, will also be representing the country in England on the 27th of January, contesting for the vacant IBO World Flyweight Championship. We trust that M3 will come back crowned as a world champion, as we are in short of world champions currently. Last but not least, the IBF has given Sive Special One Nonchinga another chance to get back the title to where it belongs, that is South Africa, for the IBF Light Flyweight Championship. The fight will be on 16 February 2024 in Mexico, and we trust that the Special One will bring back the title home. Lastly, we call upon all boxing stakeholders. We call upon the boxing fraternity to unite for a positive change, to unite for excellence, bring back the dignity, restore the stability of sport in the country, and we declare 2024 as the year of the boxing glove. Hashtag the year of the boxing glove, and we appeal to all our media partners that are here today and those that could not make it here today to move with that hashtag that say this is the year of the boxing glove. We want to see the boxing glove all over. We want positive reporting. We don't say don't report where things are not going well. Profile our boxers. They are going abroad. Profile our national champions. Profile our provincial champions so that boxing can get back to where it belongs. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.